Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We're getting ready to start our class back. Elder Cliff, if you will hold up that paper right where you're at. Those are on the back of the bar. There are some scriptures to take us through the week. We're working on a 30-day challenge to improve our attitudes of gratitude. And those are some scriptures that should be applied for each day of the week. And maybe write a meditation or something. That's just something between you and Yah. If you choose that you want to share, then that's fine. But that's just something between you and Yah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Thanks, baby.
All right, all praise to the mighty Yah. We want to welcome the members of our class and the internet audience back to our 7th day holy convocation in which we come to praise the mighty Yah. We just got finished with our lunch, and the scripture says, when thou hast eaten and are full, then shalt thou thank and praise the mighty Yah. That's something that we should always discipline ourselves, because it's easy to pray to the Most High. Oh, I'm hungry, can you please give me something to eat? But are you going to remember to praise Him when you are full and have eaten? So that's something that Yah wanted us to do, to get into a habit of. And we are about to do so. Hallelujah. If everybody will stand and please face the east. Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, we humbly come before you with our full bellies, and we thank you for remembering us and while we're in our lowest state. We know that you put us in this position and that everything that's going on in the world, that you're in control of it. We just have to trust that there's no oops in your plan. We thank you, Yah, for the food. We thank you for the wonderful fellowship. We thank you for the building, Yah. We thank you for the opportunity, the time that you give us to come closer to you and closer to you. And Yah, let us take advantage of each day, because tomorrow is not promised to any of us. So let us glorify and thank you for the abundance of everything that you do for us, even while we're here in the land of captivity. But Yah, our deepest prayer is that you will come and turn our captivity and take us home. Hallelujah! 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 Praise the mighty Yah, for Yah is righteous all the time.
Hallelujah.
All right, so we're going to go into this next portion of our service where we give praises to the mighty Yah. Hallelujah.
Shalom, family.
Shalom.
We're going to start this off. I'm going to start this off with all of us holding hands. Want to hold hands, please?
Just hold hands with the person you're next to.
No, Mordecai. We family. Because there's not that many of us here. So we all can participate today. We all can hold hands.
Okay, let's do it.
Come on, let's do this.
Moses stood in the gap. By God, we can hold hands and close the gap.
Come on, baby. Come, can you come this way? Come down here with me a little bit. Come a little closer.
Yeah, you can go between the benches. It's not going to hurt anything.
Let's just do
Think
this.
outside the box.
Sugar pie, where you at?
Sugar pie.
The one was open.
That's her book.
All right, close the gap.
Come on, baby.
The quicker we do it, the quicker we're done.
I'm going to do this, the one that I always do, and then I got a little something different this time. I need you. You need me. We are a part of Yah's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We are a part of Yah's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. I'm gonna do it one more time, y'all. Come on with me. I need you. You need me. We are a part of Yah's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. Now I know y'all know this. This is the old school. Yahweh, you're all we need to get by. Yahweh, you're all. Come on, man, you're all we need to get by. Y'all ain't hip to that song? What's wrong with y'all? I know y'all old school. Yahweh, you're all. Come on, y'all. We need to get by. And that's the truth. Hallelujah.
All right, that's how you get audience participation.
Yes, Yahweh is all we need to get back. And y'all know that is the truth.
That is the truth. Hallelujah.
So let me do this poem real quick on love.
All right.
Love is the times that we share, even the hard ones that we bear. Conquering everything through thick and thin, trying to last until the end. Conversating, understanding each other's problems, being that strong backbone, helping one another solve them. What is love? It'll make us laugh, it'll make us cry. It would even make it hard to say goodbye. But when it is sincere, coming straight from the heart, you better hold on tight and play it smart. Yah has blessed us all with so many times around. So please wake up, because sincere, true love is hard to be found. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Here, baby.
Next.
Come on, baby. Leukemia coming.
Not yet.
Not yet. Praise the mighty Yah.
Hallelujah.
This song is for the women today.
Hey. Keep your windows
So
open.
hallelujah.
This
party got ill. We put the lottery, met the mill on the field. Met with spirit, loyalty to our camaraderie. Let a minute sit that they is what inspired to the fly and hurry. Drove his circles with the nail. He slept in his blood. Yeah, I still him in my hand. Yeah, I made it moving. You did the beat. I can show you the mind of Elohim. Let me go. I'm the torch. I acknowledge I the one and only who anoints. Yeah, cause you're the chosen being. This is your broken speed. Please, from too close, be. You were judged, baby. What it do? Yo, see, warrior on Palm Street. Say it 3 times. Yeah, cause you're my chosen baby. You're my Peace, King. This is inspired by y'all sister. I don't know if y'all know her or not. Her nickname in high school was Dozy, daughter of Zion. Tell y'all that. You know that. Hallelujah. That's what's up. Then I said this song was inspired by y'all sister's name, because her nickname in high school was Dozy. Yeah. That was Zion, daughter of Zion. Hallelujah. Steps away from your door, keep your eyes low, keep your eyes low. Step with me, honey, and step some more. Yeah, how it is, I wait for which can queen of hearts, resting with your mighty thoughts. So send this ski, you know. be a sinner, y'all. So don't take your steps with me until we can't step no more. I'm so sure I could drown. I'm so sure I could drown. Yeah, y'all, and it's going down. That you was what I found. I'm so sure I drown. I'm so sure I could drown. Yeah, y'all, and it's going down. That you what I found. Yeah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise Yah. That's it.
That was me.
Praise my Yah. We doing Yah's one?
Yeah.
He said tap it. I said, yep. He's trying to turn it up and get that hum out.
Will all honor and glory go to the Yah
Hallelujah.
for all things.
And all people.
We're gonna get it together. It's just technology, you know.
Well, use your outside voices and pray. No, just outside. Y'all ain't got no music?
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom.
I'm gonna buy us another table.
All right. Hallelujah.
Oh, okay. I guess it's my turn then. Praise Maria. Praise Maria. How y'all doing today?
And we're good.
Praise Maria. Good to see y'all.
Take.
My family.
Can we get one more button?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we ain't gonna never get rid of that hum, I don't think.
Praise Maria. It's good to be here. Good to see another week. Good to be here with my family. I love the Shabbat day. I love being able to rest and seeing everybody stressed out. Not seeing them stressed out. You know.
Okay.
You know, they be stressed out because they gotta go to work and they gotta do this and they gotta do that. But we get to relax.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? This is one of y'all's laws that I don't mind, you know. Like, it's ordered for me to rest.
Right.
So I can't do that because I gotta rest today because y'all would said so.
Uh-huh.
All right, go ahead and hit the first one, I believe. There's the next one. But they all named wrong. This should be the best here. This is Cindy production. Here we are. I'm still out being a fool. I'm still out doing the things that I told you that I wouldn't do. See now, I don't know why I disrespect you. You do for me that I didn't even ask you. You say go right, then I'm gonna go left. Now look at me, I'm coming on that. I won't go back no more. Please, y'all, I'm at your door. See now, I never meant to hurt you like that. I just hope it's not too late to turn back. How long will you forget me? How long will you hide your face from me? Oh yeah. How long should I take counsel in my soul? Having sorrow in my heart daily. How long will I be blinded? I can't see. I'm crying all these tears. Yahweh, please hear and come save me. Oh. starting to let go. Yeah, you heal your life. Yeah, you heal your life. Open up your eyes when you realize that it's only I who can heal your life. Yeah, you heal your life. Open up your eyes till you realize that it's only I who can heal your life. I can heal your life. With so many issues, I thought I would miss you. I don't know why. My name is calling my name, I'm no longer dying inside. My heart told me I need to change it, all I had to do was try. I'm starting to let go. Yeah, I can heal your life. Yeah, I can heal your life. Open up your eyes till you realize that it's only I who can heal your life. Yeah, I can heal your Open up your eyes till you realize that it's only I who can heal your life. Yeah, I can heal your life. Yeah. Am I doing one more? Yep. One more, okay. Just two more. Yeah. We gotta wake them up, y'all. We got a job to do. And someone said time will take the step with soul. We gotta keep our spirits somewhere I wake up. Wake up, I can't be full time is coming. I take a look around, I see my people with the soul pressing down. You gotta wake up. Wake up, I can't wake up. Full time is coming. We can be in the view or even in brain. to me, gotta wake up. Wake up again, wake up. For the time is coming. But we must wake our people up in God's name. Wake them up, 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 up. We must wake our people up in God's name. Wake them up, 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 up. We must wake our people up in God's name. Wake them up, 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 up. We must wake our people up in God's name. Wake them up, 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 up. We must wake our people up in God's name. Wake them up, 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 up. Hallelujah. Praise Maria. We got some hot fire. Coming up, hot fire. Spit hot fire. All right, time. Praise Maria.
Hallelujah.
How everybody doing today? Y'all doing good? Praise y'all. Can we give Yahweh a round of applause, please? Can we show Yahweh some love? Can we give ourselves a round of applause for being here today? 'Cause everybody ain't have to make it today, so I appreciate that. Praise y'all.
I just want to say it's still an honor to be, you know what I'm saying, among Yah's people and Yahweh's congregation, and be able to use my lips that he created to be able to sing him a song to his holiness, you know what I'm saying?
Hallelujah.
So a lot of us, you know, we neglect that the gifts that Yahweh give us is to praise him with, you know what I'm saying? And that's real. But I got a song I'm working on, Yahweh put in my heart. I ain't gonna do it right now. But I got a real song coming to me. So next time I gotta do it.
Yes.
For sure.
That's
Yeah, you gotta do that Hezekiah song, that one you did last week. You got to do that.
You got to do
You
it.
got to do it. That's an awesome song. Praise the Most High.
Oh yeah.
We gonna do Yah's one, right? Or did y'all wanna Yah's one?
Y'all got
So
three
we gonna do
songs.
that one.
Three songs. Three songs. Three songs.
You ready?
Just one. Yeah. Hopefully the Most High give us more to come.
Oh yeah, we got more way more music than me.
Too much. The value.
Oh, most high over all the earth, you are great, wondrous work. You're the chosen ones, witness, talking heavenly signals, those possessing the laws may enter your gates. With shine, never witness of people so wise, whoever power so not. No shame, no reason, say to the earth, my king, they reign. Those who follow raven images, put them fools to shame. Who among the sons of mighty, like the king of glory, make himself known before me, lay him down. See now that he is, I am. No God beside, it is I who put the death and give life. Man, he been raising with a vain nation. My savior, the one true, only young. Instead the rest of Armageddon stars, falling sons of Elohim. Be long before they came. Punish the world for their sins. Show me who delivers from his hands. Nevertheless, God's counsel will stand. Refine and modulate. If my blood is shed, it is fate. Just let my ending words say. It's good. What's say? God is one. He will save us.
Oh, God's one, second to none.
Every
God's one, second to none.
I'm so blessed and corrected on who I am and who He's going to lead. I feel Yahweh's presence looking down on me. Yah's one, second to none. I'm facing the east and I pray for my son. I follow His sign because I know He's the one. Created the world and the sun, the moon and the stars was back. The Sabbath begun. Created my people as real as they come. Hey, yeah. I can't be saying defending the lies. I must put down my pride and show them illusions arise. My ancestors fell for the lies. We were serving all these other guys. Instead of that, with the flame in his eyes, my people they losing their mind, losing their vision and sight on the prize. But that's what happened when you left out of life. I just stay true and so humble to Yah. I just stay true and so humble to Yah. I just stay true because I see with my eyes. I just stay true and so humble to Yah. I just stay true and so humble to Yah. I just stay true because I see with my eyes. I just stay true because I see with my eyes. Oh, wonderful Yah. God's one, second to none. Praise God.
Praise God.
Praise God. Yeah. Hey, can you turn me down a little bit? Hey. I want you to guide my way. Lead my steps. Relieve my stress. And put me to the test. I want you to guide my way. Lead my steps. right by my side. That's something I don't hold, that's something that I know. So I had to write this. They say young Israel go vote. When it's not in our control, I see my people losing hope. They composing my composure so bold. Yahweh's covenant will reload. Yeah, that's right, I feel it in my soul. Man, this flow gon' make them run. No, this flow don't sound too fun. All that Christian, I'm so safe, it make my ears go numb. Hey, I just need a break. I just need to break it down. Cause they try to break us down and bend these laws. But my people built to stay strong. Yeah. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. Turn the beat up a little bit. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. Yeah, we just have to stay strong, stay strong. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. Walking in the spirit of God, hey, with my people, yeah. Walking in the spirit of God, hey, with my people, yeah. Walking in the spirit of God, hey, with my people, with my people, with my kid. It's an ongoing mission, telling my people we don't have long. Try not to walk in wrong, tell my brothers to stay strong. Hey, because I'm all about my Elohim, even when I stand alone. My problem's bigger than Goliath. I need guidance from the highest. Put pressure on my people like the answer is to riot. If you ask them who's the pilot, everybody's indecisive. Yeah, shout out to my people. Keep these words and these laws through thick and thin. We stay strong. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. Yeah, we just have to stay strong, stay strong. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. Walking in the spirit of God, hey, with my people, yeah. Walking in the spirit of God, hey, with my people, yeah. Walking in the spirit of God, with my people, with my people, with my It's the ongoing mission, telling my people we don't have long. Try not to walk in wrong, tell my brothers to stay strong. Hey, because I'm all about my Elohim, even when I stand alone, we just have to stay strong. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. Yeah, we just have to stay strong, stay strong. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. Walking in the spirit of God, hey, with my people, yeah. Walking in the spirit of God, hey, with my people, yeah. Walking in the spirit, with my people, with my people, with my yeah. Back to the subject at hand. I'm talking about following the duties of man, forgetting the concepts and precepts of man. I'm the creator, number one fan. Who live a lion? I feel like I'm damn. Flow too high, like what is a 10? Flame door for the words that I'm saying. Protecting the laws that he broke with his hand, so stay strong. Yeah. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. Yeah, we just have to stay strong, stay strong. We just have to stay strong, stay strong. Walking in the spirit of God, hey,
With my people.
yeah. Walking in the spirit of God, hey,
With my people.
yeah. Walking in the spirit, with my people, with my people, with my yeah. It's the ongoing mission, telling my people we don't have long. Try not to walk in wrong, tell my brothers to stay strong. Hey, because I'm all about my Elohim, even when I stand alone, we just have to stay strong.
Yeah. That's a classic.
Yep.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Nah. Nah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Shalom. You turn it up just a little bit.
What we gonna hear you sing?
As soon as we hear you sing.
You hear me all the time. We need to get you and Elder Dottie get up there and bust smooth for us.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You too, baby. I'm waiting on you too. Come on. Come on with it. Praise the Most High. You know he like you, you his baby girl. You his baby.
Good,
And I
good,
know
good.
you got something to say about the Most High. Yeah, baby.
Hallelujah.
It sure is, baby. I'm sorry. I just see that medicine. Just go ahead.
Okay, all right. All right, let's get back to our praises to the mighty Yah. All right. And so what we talked earlier before lunch about getting ourselves, our hearts, our minds, and our spirits right with the mighty Yah. And some of the things that we've just been talking about over the past several weeks, also as we've been taking a journey through the book of Exodus to talk about what our people went through when they came out of Egypt, out of the land of bondage, and how our people saw the miracles of the mighty Yah, how they saw the Almighty send signs and wonders throughout the land of Egypt with their very eyes. But then as soon as they got out in the wilderness, after the mighty Yah slew the firstborn of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and all the Egyptians, after the Almighty divided the Red Sea and allowed them to depart and allowed it to overflow the Egyptians, our people still went back and turned their back on the mighty Yah. And this has just been the character of our people. So as we go through our journey, as we go through our lessons and our teachings here, that's one of the things that we like to reiterate is how to shape our characters, how to shape and strengthen our spirituality and our spiritual relationships with the mighty Yah. And one of the things that I want to go through today, we talk about Psalms 50 today, when it talks about gathering the saints of the Almighty. Almighty said, gather my saints together, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. What else did we go over? We went over quite a few other things, but now I want to go over a couple things. We don't have that much time left, but I want to, if you all could, turn to the book of 1 Samuel, because we also want to make sure that we are all clear that it's incumbent on each and every one of us to have a relationship with the Most High. We all have to have a relationship with the mighty Yah to where we can have a direct relation with him. We also read the book of Psalms, the 18th chapter. And we talked about when it comes to us having to call on the mighty Yah, we want to be able to go directly to him. We want to be able to go directly to the mighty Yah. We want to have that direct connection with the Most High. So now let's go to the book of 1 Samuel, and we're going to read, start at the first verse. 1 Samuel, the first chapter, and we're going to start at the first verse. And we also have to understand what our requirements are. What does Yah require of us? We're going to let them get the testing. Okay. All right. Praise Yah. Hallelujah. That sounds good enough. Praise Yah. 1 Samuel 1, and we're going to start in the first verse.
Now there was a certain Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim, Zophim, of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zub, and Ephrathite. And he had two wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children.
Now I want to stop right here. Although we knew back in our land that the Almighty permitted for a man to have more than one wife, there was also a requirement always to treat people, number one, the way you want to be treated. To treat people right, to treat people kindly, and to try to look after people's feelings when you're dealing with them. It says, and he had two wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other one was Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah didn't have any children. Third verse.
And this man went up out of the city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto Yahweh of hosts in Shiloh.
Now, one thing I want to just focus on this right here. When this man went up yearly, I was talking to one of my brothers earlier today, and we were talking about the feast of Yah and how in the book of Deuteronomy, the 16th chapter, the scripture says, 3 times in a year shall all males appear before Yah. So even though it was a requirement for the men to go, the women also went. It wasn't just exclusively for the men, but the women also went, and the women also participated. But it was mandatory that the man represent his household, or the man who was the representative of his household, be there. And like it said, he shall not come up empty. So I just wanted to point that out. Keep going.
And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of Yahweh, were there. And when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife, and to all her sons, her daughters, portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion.
So he gave all his sons and daughters a portion of the sacrifice, and a portion portions to be involved with the sacrifice. And sometimes, depending on the man, as he bought the worthy portion up, there were times that when he brought forth the sacrifice, it was for all of them to enjoy and to eat before the mighty Yah. So I'm not exactly sure whether he gave them portions as well. Say, here, this is your sacrifice to offer unto Yah, for such as if we were going on vacation. If I was taking my family on vacation and I gave all my sons, say, here, this is your money that you can spend, on the vacation. I'm not sure if that was the exact scenario, but in any event, that's something to think about as far as when they went up. What exactly did they do? We do know that they gave sacrifices. They brought out worthy portions to rejoice before Yah. But not only did he give portions to his wives and his family, but he also his one wife Peninnah and her sons. But he also gave to Hannah a worthy portion, because he wanted her to feel to supplement the fact that because she didn't have any children, he knew that was a vexation, to her, and he was mindful of that. Go ahead, please.
But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah. But Yahweh had shut up her womb, and her adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because Yahweh had shut up her womb.
And what that means is that the other wife, Peninnah, because she had children, she actually made Hannah feel a certain way. And it was a vexation to Hannah, because the Almighty has shut her womb. And this is the same thing when you go back to this is not the first time this happened. If you go back to our forefathers, when it came down to Rachel and Leah, Leah had children, Rachel didn't have any, so Rachel took her handmaid, gave her handmaid so that she could have children by him, and it kind of went back and forth. And then when Leah didn't have any more, and Rachel was having children by her handmaid, and she said, here, I'm gonna give my handmaid. So she took her handmaid. So that was just a dynamic that existed. But in this dynamic that existed, he understood as the man that she felt a certain way because she didn't have any children. Go to the 7th verse.
And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of Yahweh, so she provoked her, therefore she wept and did not eat. Then it said, Elkanah, her husband.
So she provoked her so much that she wept, she didn't even really eat. It was bothering her that much. And one thing that I want to do is I want you all to hold that. I want you to go to the book of Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter. Ecclesiastes 5. Yep, Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter. Because one of the things that we got to consider as we deal with one another and as we read these stories is that, and something I want you all to get out of this, is that you can always call upon the Creator. See, because just like whatever Hannah was going through, the Almighty was seeing it all. The Almighty was witnessing all of the whatever Peninnah was doing to vex her. And I've seen women in situations where, my child is stronger than your child, or my child is this than your child, to try to provoke the other woman to feel a certain way. And this is what she was doing, but I want you all to go to the book of Ecclesiastes 5, and let's go to the 8th verse. Because there's something that we always got to remember. Either when we're doing something or when we actually see an action being done by somebody. And that's why sometimes that we have to hold ourselves, and there's always a way to take your prayer to the mighty Yah. And to take your prayer to that, and that's why you have to have that relationship with the mighty Yah. Because it says, if you are Israel, you are he who has power with Elohim and with man and have prevailed. So we talk a lot of times about our enemy, but you have control. Sometimes the enemy is us. Sometimes the very enemy that we have is the man within inside of us. And sometimes we prevent ourselves from prospering. So when we have a relationship with the Most High, and when we develop that strong relationship with the Most High, like we read about in Psalms 18 that David had, you have the ability to command things. You have the ability to have a conversation and pray to the Almighty and ask the Almighty to work in your behalf. And I wanted you to all to understand this right here, Ecclesiastes 5 and 8. Read that.
Thou seest the oppression of the poor, and violent perverting of judgment.
If you see the oppression of the poor in a kingdom, or if you see the violent perverting of judgment in a province, of injustice in a province. In other words, the Almighty said, he that rule over men must be what?
Just.
Must be just. But if you see this in a situation, and you see that this is not a just situation, and you see the violent perverting, if you see the violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, go ahead.
Marvel not
Not at the matter. Don't even worry about it. Don't fret yourself over the evil that's being done. And the Almighty say that through this. That's even written about in the Psalms. Fret not thyself because of evildoers. So you don't marvel, you don't fret at the matter. Why?
For he that is higher than the highest regards, and there be higher than they.
So he that is higher than the highest. So you might have a king, you might have a prince of a province that's doing evil, but he that is higher than the highest man in that land regard. Because Yah knows and sees everything. And there be higher than they. So this is what you always got to do, is we have to learn to take our petitions to the Most High. Does that make sense?
Right.
Let's go back to the book of 1 Samuel. I just wanted to point that out because that's exactly what Hannah did. And we are in the 7th verse. Read the 7th verse again.
And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of Yahweh, so she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat.
And remember, mighty Yah seeing all of this. Go ahead.
Then said Elkanah her husband to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a post of the temple of Yahweh. And she was in bitterness of soul, and prayed unto Yahweh, and wept sore. And she vowed a vow and said, O Yahweh of hosts.
And this, it says she was in bitterness of soul. And this is what we have to do. The scripture says, Yah is nigh unto them that are a what heart, contrite heart, broken heart, and Savior such as be of a contrite spirit. So when we take our petitions to the Most High in that manner, the Almighty hears. Just like in the book of Psalms, the 18th chapter. David said, then my cry came before his ears. But we have to put ourselves in a situation with the Most High to where he's going to directly accept your prayer.
Yes.
And accept it when you cry. And I think that it first starts with us humbling ourselves. Right. That's the first thing, in being humble and remaining humble in situations. And I had a brother that reached out to me, and not only did he reach out to me, but he reached out to some of the other teachers, and he's going to meet with some of the other teachers as well. He's continuing to do that. And what his thought is that we as leadership should be starting to fast. Starting to do some fasting as leadership and praying to the Almighty for visions, praying to the Almighty for what's going on among us. Right. Because either we can humble ourselves or the Almighty can humble us. Right. And that's what happens. Either we can humble ourselves, or the Almighty can humble us. And that's what's going to happen during Jacob's troubles. So if we humble ourselves, and we are already humble, then you don't have too much lower to go. You're already preparing your spirit, you're already preparing your soul for what Yah has in store. And you already put your mind in a position that you saying, Yah, let your will be done. And I'm here to serve you, Yah. And I'm here to follow your mission, Yah. But keep going.
She was in bitterness of soul.
And that's what's going to happen. The Almighty said that he's going to cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease and lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And when he said he's going to do this, this is not just something, this is something he's going to do globally across the whole earth. And this is what, and the things that we're saying, people might not believe it now, but all you got to do is keep your eyes out on the news. Keep your eyes out on the economy, and the Almighty is going to cause the words of his servant to come to pass. And he's going to cause the words of his servant to come to pass because his servants are speaking his words.
Right.
All we doing is reiterating the word of the said Yah. And that's why it says, in the book of Amos, it says, Yahweh has spoken, who can but prophesy? But let's keep going.
And she was in bitterness of soul, and
Bitterness
prayed
of soul, weeping, crying. Go ahead.
and prayed unto Yah and wept sore. And she vowed a vow and said, O Yahweh of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thy handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thy handmaid, but will give unto thy handmaid a man child, and I will give him unto Yahweh all the days of his life. And there shall no razor come upon his head.
In other words, I will commit him to the mighty Yah, and I will commit him to be a Nazarite. I'm going to vow, if you would give me a son, Yah, if you would give me a child, I'm going to commit this child unto you.
And it came to pass that she
And not only did she ask him for a child, she said she asked him for a man-child. Because she wanted that child to be, and I guess she had it in her heart, like, if you give me a man-child, I'm going to take him up and I'm going to give him unto you. Because that's where the man-child were given. The man-child were sometimes, generally, and that's who the priests were. The priests were the men. We didn't have women priests back in our days. Not that I've read of. Anybody read of a woman priest? And that's not to say anything bad. That's just to say Yah chose who he chose to be in certain positions. Not everybody can be a king. Not everybody can be, and that's why when we talk about, well, what tribe am I? You're going to be whatever tribe y'all say you are. I want to be Yehuda. I want to be, no, you're going to be whatever. You might be Levi. You might even be Levi. So we have to accept that which Yah gives us and where Yah places us. Keep going. You gone, my brother? Okay, praise the mighty Yah. Thanks for coming by. And we want you all to know at the house of Yehuda that we love you. And despite any perceptions, we talk to one another, brother?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Hallelujah. So there is your witness right there. I'm one witness, he's a second witness, right?
That's right.
So to let you all know that we are working to try to create plans and try to do whatever we can to bring our people together. Hallelujah. Praise Yah. Let's keep on.
Came to pass, as she continued praying before Yah, that Eli marked her mouth. And now Hannah, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. And Eli said unto her, How long wilt thou be drunken?
She was out there having a fit, moving her mouth.
Like Sister Jackie.
You said it, I did. It was right on the tip of my tongue. No, hallelujah. But no, that's okay though. That's okay. And we supposed to try to be in sorrowness of heart to the mighty Yah. It says, now Hannah spake. Now Hannah, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. Go ahead.
And Eli said unto her, How long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, No, my Lord, I am a woman of sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but I poured out my soul before Yah. Count not my handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto.
And so she said, and I want another thing I want y'all to see. It says, count not thy handmaid as a daughter of Belial. In other words, our women who are right, virtuous women of Israel, he accused her of being what? Drunk. So our women who are virtuous women of Israel, they weren't going around getting all sloppy drunk. And getting, getting drunk. No. They were women of virtue. Because when you drink that gin, it do what? It makes you sin, they say. But I'm just saying, so I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with having, a little libations, as they call it, but there's also a limit. Our people weren't a bunch of drunkards. Not the wise of our people, and in all wisdom, sometimes, if you have your heart, get your drink on or whatever, but not every day, not all the time. There's just a time and place for everything. And I think that what happens is that maturity and your body will help you to dictate that. Right. And wisdom. But keep going, please.
Count not thy handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. Then Eli answered and said, Go in peace, and the Elohim of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him.
And he blessed her. He said, Elohim, hear thee and grant thee thy petition. So he also felt her spirit, being a man of Elohim, saying, may the mighty Yah grant you your petition. Even though he didn't even know what the petition was. But he saw the sorrow and he saw the sincerity in whatever she was crying for. And he knows that the Almighty hears the cry of the humble. Go ahead.
And she said, Let thy handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. And they rose up in her morning early and worshipped before Yah, and returned and came to their house to Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and Yahweh remembered her. Wherefore it came to pass when the time was come, about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of Yah.
So I got another thing I want to bring out, the 18th verse. It says, And she said, Let thy handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. So after her having that conversation with the man of Elohim, it brought her comfort. And it brought her peace. Because the man of Elohim, he was a sincere person. He wasn't somebody trying to tell her to do wickedness. He was somebody that, saying, hey, Yahweh, hear your prayer. Yahweh, hear your cry. And that's what the men of Elohim are supposed to do. And I know some people say putting our trust in confidence and putting our trust in God. That's guys that are trying to take you the wrong way. That's not us who try to tell you to, try to show you and point you in the right direction. Those that's doing things in sincerity and trying to show you the word of Yah. And I know sometimes people don't like it. I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay, well, that's on you. We done told you. And one of the things about a man of Elohim, and when you get to know Yah, you're going to take a very conservative approach about sinning. And especially what you advise other people to do. When you have the blood of other souls on your hand. Because then it comes to a point of not only do you have to pay for your sin, but when you get to ill advising people, then you also have other people's blood on your hand. As a leader and as a teacher. So, in my opinion, I think any leader and any teacher, whether we teach something different and how they feel, if they know that fact, they are probably doing it in their best sincerity. And this is what he was doing, and after he had comforted her, she left. And she wasn't sad no more. She had her trust was there. And that's why the scripture says, strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. Let them know, Yahweh is going to be with you. Don't worry, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
19.
And they rose up in the morning early and worshipped before Yah, and returned and came to their house to Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and Yahweh remembered her. Wherefore it came to pass when the time was come, about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son and called his name Samuel.
So it says he knew his wife. In other words, he went into his wife, and Yahweh remembered her. He planted the seed, and Yahweh remembered her. Yahweh remembered her petition. Then it says, wherefore it came to pass when the time was come, about after Hannah had conceived, that she bear a son. And that's what she asked y'all for. She didn't bear a female child. She could have, as long as I have a healthy baby, it's fine, and it is fine. But she specifically asked him for a son. And that's what she had. So she had to keep her part of the bargain. But keep going though.
And the man Elkanah and all his house.
And she called his name Samuel. And in Hebrew, Samuel is Shemuel. Saying, because I have asked him of Yah. And the word Shemuel means what? It means Yah hears, or Yah have heard me. Yah hears, that's what Shemuel means. Go ahead, 21st verse.
And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto Yahweh.
And this is a testimony. This is what we need to be saying. Yah heareth. I cried unto Yah and he heard my cry. I know I can say that. How many of y'all can say that? I cried to the Most High before and he heard my cry. Hallelujah. So let's everybody say Shemuel. Mean Yah hears. Keep going.
And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto Yah the yearly sacrifice and his vow. But Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned. And then I will bring him, that he may appear before Yahweh, and there abide forever.
So here we go again. And it came to pass, wait a minute, where we at? And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto Yah the yearly sacrifice and his vow again, right? Went up to offer again. It was his duty. That's what the man did. But Hannah went not up, and she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned. Then I will bring him that he may appear before Yahweh and abide there. How long? Forever. And I heard people say that when it came to the story of Jephthah. Jephthah actually sacrificed his daughter. Some people say, well, maybe she went up to Yahweh and maybe she went up and she went up to the mighty Yah and she stayed up there. That was a joyous occasion when she had to give, when Hannah brought her son up there, right? But in the story of Jephthah, that was not a joyous occasion. That was clearly a sorrowful story. So that lets you know that that's not the same type of thing. But keep going.
And Elkanah her husband said unto her, do what seems thee good. Tarry until thou have weaned him. Only Yahweh established his word. So the woman abode and gave her son suck until she weaned him. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her, with 3 bullocks and 1 ephah of flour, and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the house of Yahweh in Shiloh. And the child was young. And they slew a bullock and brought the child to Eli. And she said, O my Lord, as thy soul lives, my Lord, I am the woman that stood by thee here, praying unto Yah. For this child I prayed, and Yahweh hath given me my petition which I asked of him.
Ain't that deep? When she came back to Eli, he probably knew her, or he probably may or may not have even known her. Matter of fact, he didn't really know her personally because there were so many people, I guess. He probably didn't have a personal relationship with her because he thought she was a daughter of Eli. He didn't recognize her and say, oh, Hannah, what's going on with you? Why are you over there crying? Because I guess they dealt with so many people, and then when she came back again, she had to let him know who she was. Like, I'm the woman that was crying. Do you remember that when you thought I was a daughter of Belial and I asked of a man child and Yah granted my petition and here I am back to pay my vows unto the Most High? Yes. Go ahead.
Therefore also as I have lent, verse 27. For this child I pray, and Yahweh hath given me my petition which I asked of him. Therefore also I have lent him to Yahweh. As long as he lives, he shall be lent to Yahweh, and he worship Yahweh there.
Hallelujah. Ain't that something? Praise Yah. Then let's go to the second chapter. And this is titled in my book, Hannah's Prayer. Because now Hannah's going to thank them Almighty. After not only her having the child, but then her being able to fulfill her petition and being able to successfully deliver the child up and to fulfill her vow to Yah. Like, Yah, you know, you did this for me, now I'm bringing them back up, I'm keeping my word.
That's right.
2 and 1.
And Hannah prayed and said, my heart rejoices in
My
Yah.
heart rejoices in Yah.
My horn is exalted in
My
Yah.
horn is exalted in Yah. And I don't know how many of y'all ever felt like this, but I feel have. Because I haven't felt like this before. And I'm sure each and every one of you have. My horn is exalted in Yah. Go ahead.
My horn is exalted in Yah. My mouth is enlarged over mine enemies. Because I rejoice in thy salvation.
Because I rejoice in thy salvation. In other words, because I have a personal relationship with you, Yah. My horn is exalted over my enemies. She might have more sons, but I didn't have any children. I came directly to the King of Glory and asked him to help me. He gave me a child. I have a relationship with the Almighty. This is what she's saying. Because I rejoice in thy salvation.
There is none holy as Yahweh, for there is none beside thee. Neither is there any rock like our Elohim.
And this is what we're going to be doing. This is what we're going to be praising Yah when he delivers us. And for all the good things that he do for us, there's none like Yah. Look at all the things that he's done for me. I remember, I can recall some of the things that we've been going through in this class. Not we've been going through per se, but I remember my Kai had a brother back there, he was talking about getting his CDLs one time. And look what happened. The Almighty brought that to pass, right? I remember years ago, I remember Ariel, he was going to be an electrician at one time. I remember me and myself. Me and Morey Kilai, we were both in school years ago. Struggling through school, had children. You know what I mean? Trying to at a later time in our life, go back to college after having children. Praying to the Almighty, and the Almighty actually blessed us. So I remember as we have traveled through our journeys, what people have been through. Even with my family. Even with other people out here, I remember the journeys that we've been through. And these are something that we are not to forget. Don't ever forget the journeys that God took you through.
Hallelujah.
Don't ever forget, like they said, if a man, you got to remember, don't forget where you came from.
That's right.
And don't forget who helped you out.
That's
Sister Abigail, I remember her testimonies. And look where the Almighty Elder died.
Yes.
You know, so I'm just saying, my wife, King, everybody, you got something to say? If we want to hear something, then some of y'all got to say today. If anybody want to say it, we're going to read a couple verses, but we want to hear what you all have to say.
No, I just think that was a great point that you made, because when you look back, you know, the Most High has delivered us from like multiple occasions.
Right.
And I do remember everything you were saying about everybody you just said, like, you know what I'm saying, throughout the course of, you know, our history just here, like, you know, people have been heard by the Creator, and that's something that we shouldn't take lightly.
Hallelujah. You're right. And I'm saying that because that's like specifically remember the testimonies. When I look around, like, I remember you were saying one time. I remember what you were saying one time. And look, the Almighty done brought it to pass. We done went way past that now. And we still moving on.
Right.
Hallelujah. And this is why we should be always excited. Like she said, there is none as holy as Yah. And there is none beside thee. Neither is there any rock like our Elohim. This is how we're supposed to feel. This is how I feel.
Right. Excited.
3rd verse.
Talk no more exceeding proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your
And
mouth.
this is also something that she said. As we do, because we know that when we went through those situations, we were all broken. We were all like, man, I hope I can make it. I'm going to pray to Yah. But then he just reinforced our confidence. But he didn't have to do it.
Right.
The things that he brought us through. And that's why she said, talk no more exceedingly proud. Because Yahweh know he can reverse anything. It says, let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. And this is why we always got to maintain a humble position. Because we are supposed to be riding on Yahweh's mercy every day.
Yes.
I know I ride on Yahweh's mercy every single day. Like, yeah, nah, I made it. And nah, every single day, we supposed to realize that we are riding on Yah's mercy. Keep going.
Talk no more exceeding proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For Yahweh is a Elohim of knowledge. And by him actions are
And
weighed.
by him, what is weighed? Your heart,
Actions.
your spirit.
Actions.
Well, those are weighed too, but But actions are weighed. In other words, the things that we do, those things are weighed, they're put in a balance. So we always have to try to watch what we do. Watch the things that we do, watch the things that we say. Because our actions are weighed. And this lets you know that there's a law that y'all have. If it wasn't a law, how's he weighing our actions? You know what I mean? He has to have some criteria, right? And that criteria is the law. Well, go ahead.
The bows of the mighty man are broken, and they that stumbled are girded with strength.
So the bows of the mighty man, the Almighty said, even when our people were in our land, you know what he told them? He said, "O wicked, profane prince of Israel, I know that I have blessed you. I know you think you have." Let's turn to the book of Ezekiel real quick. Ezekiel 21. Because see, the Almighty, he's always looking to prove he is who he is. So when we as man, or when people start to exalt themselves, he let it go on for a little bit. But then there comes a time that he gonna show you he is Elohim.
Right.
And this is what he did to our people, because our people, when they were in the land, our people got exalted. They didn't remember that I am Yahweh your Elohim who brought thee out of the land of Egypt. So sometimes when kings started to do what they wanted to do. I'm sure y'all remember King Uzziah, right? King Uzziah made them engines. How many of y'all remember that? He made them engines, weapons of war. And then he decided, I made these engines, I did all this, and I want to go burn some incense now. They said, no, that don't pertain to you, buddy. He said, well, I'm going to burn me some incense anyway. So this is why we have to be very careful. As he went in there and burnt them incense, that leprosy rose all the way up on him, and they thrust him out of there. And he didn't even have no more strength. Then he had strength to go in there because I'm the king. They wasn't going to mess with him, right? I can't touch him. If he going to do it, he going to do it. That Yahweh take care of. They knew not to touch the anointed Yah. But as soon as that leprosy rose on, they knew, no, see, Yahweh went for it, and then they thrust his butt out of there.
Right.
Because Yah did his work first. Ezekiel 21, and let's go to the 24th verse.
Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Elohim, because ye have made your iniquity to be remembered.
He's talking about the leadership of Israel. Because when you have leadership doing wrong, then they're going to be teaching the people to do wrong.
Right.
Go ahead. Is that your...
Transgressions are discovered, so that in all your doings your sins do appear. Because I say that ye are come to remembrance, ye shall be taken with the hand.
All right, so you come to remember, you're going to be taken with the hand. And y'all know when you take the thumb, don't let me get this hand out to my son. You know, you talk to your son, don't let me get this hand out. Ain't that what you say sometimes? Son, don't make me get this hand out. And this is what the Almighty say, ye shall be taken with the hand. 25th verse.
And thou profane wicked prince of Israel.
And thou profane wicked prince of Israel.
Whose day is come, when iniquity shall have an end.
In other words, whose day has come when I'm going to be fed up. I'm going to let you do this wickedness, but your iniquity will have an end.
Thus saith Yahweh Elohim, remove the diadem and take off the crown. This shall not be the same.
In other words, remove that diadem. I know you the king. I know you got a big crown, but remove the diadem and take off the crown, for this shall not be the same. Exalt him that is low, and I'm about to abase you, buddy, who's high. I'm going to let you know that I can flip anything around.
Right.
27 verse.
I will overturn.
He said, I will overturn it.
And it shall be no
And I will
more.
put your wickedness to an end. It shall be no more.
Until he come whose right it
To
is.
he who come, whose right it is, and I will give it him. And this is what happened to us. This is why we were driven away to a far land. Y'all might say, I will overturn it. I know y'all once ruled the earth, but I can overturn that. When he said, Jesse run, wax fat, and kick, okay, you think you the boss now? I'm going to overturn it. And this is why we got to be very careful in the things that we do. We got to be very careful and always walk in a prayerful manner with the Almighty. Go back to, what was that? Samuel, 1 Samuel, 1 Samuel, right? Yes.
When you said he was overturned, is that like he was stripped? He was stripped.
In other words, when the Almighty said that he would bring a stranger over us and he would remove us out of our land and allow our enemies, everything that he said that would happen in Deuteronomy 28. That's what that's talking about.
Okay, I got you.
Go back to Samuel. Where we at? We in
1 Samuel chapter 2.
2 and 4. Go ahead. And this is what we were talking about right here. The bowls, 2 and 4, when everybody get to it.
The bows of the mighty men are broken, and they that stumbled are girded with strength.
The bowls of the mighty men are broken, but they that stumble, he can always bring you up. So if you follow Yah and let him lead you, don't worry about it. He's going to fix it. He's going to bring you up.
That's right, praise Yah.
Hallelujah. And that's the same thing that he's going to do with us. And that's the same thing. That's why I don't worry about things that happen and people that do things, because the Almighty is once, he's going to fix it. And if any of us, and I know that I'm smart enough to know that if I get up here and make a mistake, and I do something, I already know in advance how far to go. And I already know I fear Yah enough, and I'm just letting y'all know that, I fear Yah enough to try to do my best and to do the right thing. Despite what some people might feel, but I'm just saying. And I'm just saying, as we move toward things, and that's the kind of discretion that you have to have when you're dealing with that which is holy. It says it's a sin to devour that which is holy, and then afterwards vow to make inquiry. No, you don't do that which is wrong and then go ask Yahweh later. You ask Yahweh first. And you make inquiry first. Go ahead. Ask Yahweh first.
They that were full hired out themselves for bread.
They that were full hired, and this is what it's just saying right here. This is her saying, like, look, Yahweh can do anything. So if you get too high and mighty, he will bring you down. If you be humble and allow him to bless you, he will bless you. And take your petition to him. But I guarantee you, if you get too arrogant, he will bring you down. I mean, bottom line. It says pride goeth what? Okay, first you proud, now what's going to be next? It's automatic. You pride, okay, I already know what's going to happen. I already know. Oh, that's wrong. I know what's going to happen next. You know what I mean? Because you trust in the word of Yah. They that were full have hired themselves out for bread, and they that were hungry, what? Cease. This is what Yah can do. So regardless of what low situation you might feel you in, go to Yah with it. Establish that relationship with him and allow him to be your salvation. Don't resort to self-help. I know I've done that a lot of times. And it don't do nothing but get you in trouble sometimes. And that's one of the things I'm learning myself. You know, just somebody say something, just don't even let it get to you. Let Yahweh deal with it. This ain't funny, but can I tell you a story? Don't. So my son was a richer grown man now. You know, I used to be like, you know, they say something to me, I'm like, boy, I'm getting right back with you. Now when I'm saying something like, Yahweh, did you hear that? You feel me? That's what I say.
That's right.
Yeah, one time I said it to my son, I said, Yahweh, did you hear that? He flew out there and just did what he was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you got to do. You got to let the Almighty, and you got to let people know, like, look, I'm not even, sometimes you have to remove yourself out of the equation and let the Almighty deal with it. That's right. Let's keep going. But that's something good, though. That's something I learned. And that's something, you know, my wife did that to me before.
Right.
One time I was doing something, she was like, you know Yahweh don't like that. But she said something, and I was like, and it just scared the mess out of me. You know what I mean? Like, oh boy. That's all I had to say. And I heard the Tyree say that before. Like, brother, you think the Almighty like that? I've heard him use that tactic on somebody else before, and I saw it humble them out really quick.
That's what we're supposed to do. Yes, yes.
Keep going.
No, don't laugh, we are. I know we're supposed to look out for each other, man.
Keep going.
Yahweh kills. Verse 5. They that were full have hired out themselves for bread, and they that were hungry cease. So that the barren hath borne 7.
So that the barren have borne 7. That's why you don't worry about it. You don't tease people and you don't make fun of people. Because you just never know where the Almighty is going to put them and where he's going to put you.
Right.
He can totally bring you down and exalt them. And that's why we not to exalt ourselves over anybody. And that's why he also talked about the stranger that say that they want to serve Yah. You don't interfere with that. Even if a stranger want to serve Yah, you wish them the best of luck and you give them what they need. Let's go to Isaiah 56. I got Isaiah 56, let's start in the first verse.
Thus saith Yahweh, keep ye judgment and do justice.
Keep ye judgment and do justice. That's all you just do the law. And like we were saying before, don't worry about what everybody else doing. You just do your part. You keep judgment and you do justice. Go ahead.
For my salvation is near to come.
For my salvation is near to come.
And my righteousness to be revealed.
And my righteousness to be revealed, because y'all got righteousness that he ain't even revealed to us. So sometimes we think we know everything, and no, you don't even know the righteousness y'all got. Because he's going to spare these other nations as well. Many of these other nations are going to be alive, kicking it, and they're going to be coming up serving y'all. How do you think he's going to be glorified? In the eyes of the nation. He's going to glorify us in the sight of the nations. He's going to make a whole new world order. And they're going to come up and say, you know what, we want to serve Yah. And that's Isaiah 2. I quote that all the time. I know y'all tired of hearing it, but that is something that's, Ray Dan used to quote that all the time, and now it's like I'm hooked on it. Because that is the future. That's the new world order. Isaiah 2, let me finish with this, then we'll go right there. Go ahead.
Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the son of man that lays hold on.
Blessed is not only the man that doeth, but also the son of the man. In other words, the son of a stranger. They are human beings as well, any human being that keep my law. Go ahead.
And keeps the Sabbath from polluting it, and keeps his hand from doing
In other words, I think the Sabbath, I know that I might not be Israel, but I do believe in the Most High who created the heavens and earth, and I do believe that we're supposed to keep a Sabbath, and I do believe that he has a law, and that he has a difference between righteousness and wickedness. That's really only good sense, right? I mean, you know. But is everything the same? No, there's righteousness, there's wickedness. But go ahead, though. Third verse, go ahead.
Neither let the son of the stranger that has joined himself to Yahweh.
I was telling the brother yesterday, and I've said this before, is that this is a commandment to Israel. As he gives Israel the law, he says, neither let the son of the stranger that have joined himself unto Yah speak. In other words, you better not be treating them in such a way that I'm going to hear them say that Yah, I ain't good enough like them to keep Yah's law. Yah has separated me from them. See, we not to be like the wicked. Right. See, the wicked always make us look like we second-class citizens. But we supposed to be anybody who want to keep the Almighty's law. He says, neither let the son of the stranger that joined himself unto Yah speak, saying, Yahweh have utterly separated me from his people. Right. In other words, don't you be so arrogant, Israel. All you got to do is go back and read that 2 Samuel. Yah take it down and bring it up. And whatever Yah will is, that's what it is. You ain't no creator. We ain't no creator, so we got to go with what the boss say. We We got to go with what the Maker says. Neither let the son of the stranger go here, King.
Joined himself to Yahweh speak, saying, Yah has utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, Behold, I am a dry tree. For thus saith Yahweh unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbath, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant.
And choose the things that what? Please me. So there are things that please Yah, and there are things that displease Yah. Go ahead. 5th verse.
Even unto them will I give in my house and within my walls a place and a name.
Place and a name.
Better than of sons and of
Better than even some of y'all Israelites who think y'all all up here and there. And I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. So the Almighty said, you don't have the right to exclude nobody from my program if they do what thus saith Yah, and if they have a heart to obey me. 6th verse.
Also the sons of the strangers that join themselves to Yah to serve him and to love him and to love the name of Yah.
And to love the name of Yah. See, not only do we got to love Yah, we got to love the name of Yah. That's what we got to do. Like I love the name of Yah, like Hannah, what she was saying. Like I love Yah, I love the name of Yah. I love everything about Yah. Go ahead.
To be his servants, everyone that keeps the Sabbath from polluting it and takes hold of my covenant. Even them will I bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my houses of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon my altar. For my house shall be called a house of prayer for all people.
For my house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. Go ahead.
Yahweh Elohim, which gathers the outcasts of Israel.
Yahweh Elohim, which gathered the outcasts of Israel, saith this.
Yet will I gather others.
Yet, but I'm going to gather others unto him.
Beside those that are gathered.
Beside those that are gathered. So he's going to gather other people as well. If they take hold of his law. So go back to Samuel, I think.
Yep.
Let's go back to 2 Samuel, because we almost done. And we're going to take a few comments or whatever y'all want to do. Let y'all, anybody who want to praise y'all, we almost finished. And give your testimony like Hannah did. Or just say how righteous y'all is. Sixth verse.
Yahweh kills and makes alive. He brings down to the grave and brings
So
up.
all these things are in the power of Yah's hand. And nothing any of us can do about it. And we just have to acknowledge that. Keep going, 7th verse.
Yahweh makes poor and makes rich.
Yahweh make poor and Yahweh make rich. In other words, if you poor, Yahweh can make you rich. And if you rich, he can make you what? Poor. He can make you poor. Poorer. Right. He bringeth low and he lifteth up. 8th verse.
He raises up the poor out of the dust.
He raises up the poor out of the dust. And I'm going to tell y'all something, man. This is who y'all have always been with the underdog. And lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among what? Princes. And to make them to inherit the throne of glory.
For the pillars of the earth are Yahweh's, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints. The wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man.
I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how many weights you lift. I don't care how good you think you look. I don't care how much money you think you got. For by strength shall no man prevail. And that's why the scripture says, let not the wise man glory in his what? In his wisdom. Let not the strong man glory in his strength. Let not the wise man, the rich man, but let him that glory in this, that he what? That he know and understand me. And this is part of knowing and understanding Yah, that every single thing you got is from Yah. And if you want more, ain't no sense in us being envious at nobody and being envious at the wicked. If you want something, all you gotta do is work with Yah. And he'll give you anything you want. If you work for it, if you create that relationship with him, he can cause you to hit the lottery. You never have to work again another day in your life. I'm just saying, what Yahweh can do. There's no limit to what he can do. Go ahead, please.
The adversaries of Yah shall be broken to pieces.
But those who don't want to acknowledge the power shall be broken into pieces.
Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. Yahweh shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king.
So Yahweh gives strength to his people. And he does what? Exalteth the horn of his anointing. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty God. Give Yah a round of applause for his man. He's just powerful. Powerful. That's why he's the Almighty. That's all I got to say. Hallelujah. And thank everybody. And I hope somebody has something good to say about Yah.
Just got a real quick comment. Today I was praying to Yahweh for something specific that I needed in my spirit. And coming here to the Shabbat day, I definitely got it. And I praise Yahweh. But in this chapter right here is what I was looking for. It says, they that stumble are girded with strength. And this year for me, I've been really seeking after perfection. I've been really trying to seek for it. And one thing I noticed in seeking for, trying to do the right thing perfectly, what you're going to find is that it's not going to happen. it's basically it's not going to happen exactly the way that you envision it to happen. You can get perfection. It's just in your quest of seeking it, it's not going to come the way that you expect it to come, nor in the time that you expect it to come. And that's something I had noticed. And, I try, I know I do, I sacrifice a lot for the Creator, a lot that a lot of people don't even know. So when I'm not awarded by the Most High in ways that I think I should be awarded, or at the time that I think I should be awarded, it can be a little discouraging. But the Most High definitely gave me what I need today, and it was in this psalm right here. Like I said, they that stumble are girded with strength. And I stumble a lot. You know what I'm saying? I stumble. You can think you have something down so perfectly and put so much time into something, and still it do not come out the way that you expect it to come out. And that's because the Most High try to show you exactly, who he is and what his power is. And everything is weighed in the balance by the Creator. So even though we stumble and fall, it'll come a time where the Most High will lift you up, and he'll lift you up forever. Like Hannah had said to her child, give me my time with my child, but there's gonna come a time when I'm gonna give my child, and he's gonna abide in God's house forever. So.
But you know what she had? Let me just add a couple of things. But she still had the ability to go up and see him every year.
Right.
Or whenever she wanted to make a trip up to see him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to say is when it.
In good hands too.
Right, praise God. Get the mic though. But in any event, when it comes to us dealing with the Most High, see, he's going to bless us. You're not going to always just skyrocket all the way to the top. You know what I mean? Sometimes, he's going to bless you, and he might bless you. Then he might knock you back down a little bit. Either do what you do, or he might be testing you to see if you're going to still strive forward, or if you still, or if you're going to turn back. See, and these are the kind of temptations that's always put before us to see whether you're going to still stay on that road. Because a lot of times if you shoot up too high and too fast, you're going to get haughty. And you're not going to understand the value of that blessing. But when the Almighty make you work for it, then, you get a little bit, and it's a journey. And that's why it says the path of the just is as the shining light. It's going to shine more, and more might get a little down or messed up, but then it's going to boost up and shine more and more and more. It's a journey. So the goal is never to give up. And to always stay on that path. Hallelujah.
You finished?
Shabbat shalom. I just want to give all glory and honor to the Most High by saying hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I just want to thank the Almighty for really answering my prayers, even the ones that I don't think of. on, intentionally, I could think of something and the Almighty just say, here you go. I moved into my apartment maybe like a year and a half ago, and it wasn't the apartment that I wanted because I was like, man, I want one with a balcony, but it's cool. I'm gonna take what I get because I ain't had nothing before this. I was homeless, so praise the mighty God, I got this. Come a year and a half later, my apartment has so many water issues, they're gonna go ahead and move me to an apartment with a balcony, and they're remodeling it, they're painting it, new carpet, so it's basically I'm getting a whole new place, even though it's just literally, and the best thing is one floor above, and I don't have to walk that far, just like with this one. So the Almighty, He really answered my prayers, and then I was like, man, I got some cash in, but I want to make sure that my finances is good because I know in the past, when I got my taxes, I always messed it up. So I want to make sure I'm good this time, y'all. So He gave me a raise. I started out at like 11 an hour. He gave me a raise. It was about like 30-something cents. I was like, that's cool, whatever I could get. It's cool. A couple weeks later, it went from 11.37 to 13 an hour. And I was like, well, praise Yah. And He just answered my prayers so many times, It's just, man, I was like, I want a better apartment. Here you go. Yeah, I need a little bit more money. Here you go. Yeah, I need, and it's such a blessing for Him to just say, here you go. But it's not just Him giving it to me. It's because I asked and I earned it. I did my work to make sure that if He was to bless me with more money on an hour, I could take care of my bills and do this and do that instead of just going through it. If I was to get a new apartment, I'm going to, make sure I open it up so I can get some air in there. Make sure I face the east, just all the extra stuff with it to make sure I can keep my blessing and get it. But I'm just thankful that the Almighty hears my cry. And I tell my children, in case of an emergency, call YAH. Because at times I can't do nothing for you, So just this week, I was in my feelings about a whole lot of stuff, and I just got down on my knees and just prayed to Yahweh, and He's healing my heart, and He's comforting me, even though I'm hurt about a couple things, He's always here for me to hear my cry and to comfort me. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Praise God.
Shalom, everybody. I want to give a testimony, but I also had a question about the lesson that you taught today. And I'll do my question first. My question is that why other people, nationalities of people like the Gentiles and them, if they want to know about Yah, why they're not allowed in the class? If you said that other people don't, what we just read.
Well, so one thing is that we as Israel, we have, and that's something we'll talk about off the net, but we can, one of the things that as Israel, we have to get our own selves together first. We do have the ability and we can help educate people. But we are trying to prepare ourselves and try to prepare our hearts first. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you have to have the ability to work with people and work with different people and build relationships outside of that to ensure that people are who they say they are and that they want to do what they say they want to do and that they're doing it. You don't just trust anybody with anything. And that's something that you learn and being prudent. People have to be able to, number one, show and prove first. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be able to show and prove first, and that's something that some congregations do. And it's just been the discretion that we've had here, that until we can get ourselves in a certain place, we still try to, you just said earlier before lunch about how we as Israel need to get ourselves together. So until we can even get some of that fixed, we're not even entertaining none of that other stuff until we can be the light we're supposed to be. So we have to teach our people to be the light or be a light, the light that we're supposed to be before we can start teaching other people to be a light.
Well, I remember at one of the conferences that was in Cincinnati, there was a Caucasian lady there. I don't know if it was here or was that down in the Carolina. But I remember, you know what I'm saying, but I just didn't know, especially according to the scripture that we just read, why they're not allowed in our class to learn as well. I just didn't know. Now,
and we will teach them. We will take every opportunity to teach them. We just have things that we have to get together ourselves. We need to learn we're still trying to wake up our people. That's why in the book of Isaiah, the 49th chapter, when the Almighty tells him, he tells when it says it's a light thing that you shouldn't be my servant to wake up the tribe of Jacob, but I'm also going to use you in the grand scheme of everything that I'm going to use you for to do my great works, to be my salvation to the end of the earth and to teach other nations. But we have to first in our house get our stuff together.
But how long is it gonna take?
We'll make that decision and we'll let you know. Thank you.
Well, now let me give you the praise part that I wanted to share. When you were talking about the kids, you made me think back when my kids were younger. And you're right, baby, my children. And you know how we used to get that paddle, the teacher used to, I don't know if they did it in your
Yes, they did it in our school.
Yes. So I had one and I had 3 holes in it, right? So my daughter had did something wrong and she was gonna get it. So she was in there on her bed with her Bible just praying real hard. And I said, yo, get your butt out here right now. She said, Mama, but I thought I was your little princess. I said, princesses, don't be mad. But you just made my mind go back to there. And I don't know if you remember when I first came to the house of Israel and how the Day of Atonement, my first Day of Atonement. Do you remember that? When I was crying out to the Most High.
On your knees over there?
I don't remember, but I know, oh my goodness, it was like a detoxation that I went through because I was strong into that JC stuff, you know? And it was like, oh, Yahweh, thank you, Yah. Y'all, please forgive me, y'all. And people might look at me like I'm crazy and all kinds of stupid stuff, but guess what? I don't care, because I'm going to praise Yah anyway, because Jackie is Jackie, and that's it. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Praise God. Hey, Yahweh picks you, so I can't argue. And that's one thing that we got to remember when Yahweh chooses his servants, regardless of how we feel, they Yah's servants. Each one of us are handpicked.
Right.
You know, by the mighty Yah. So hallelujah. We need to love and support every one of us. Hallelujah. And we all gonna be different.
Yeah.
So we all need to just accept that. There's gonna be differences across Israel.
Yeah.
We don't let Yah deal with it.
Right.
Yeah. Even those that yell out, we let Yah deal with it.
I just want to thank y'all. I want to thank y'all that last week I celebrated 6 months of being married, and that was a great occasion. And it was really one of those, I prayed to y'all, and y'all heard me, and y'all gave me a husband. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Praise Yah. Hallelujah.
All praises to the mighty Yah.
Hallelujah.
I mean, I'm so thankful. I mean, that I can give you probably 5 or 6 testimonies already. But what I just want to do is mention about what Hannah went through in the first chapter of 1 Samuel, about the fasting where she wasn't eating, because I know the power there where I can give you testimonies. But I just want to maybe not get into the specifics or details, but just what this fasting is about. Where I've learned about 45 years ago that when you don't eat, then you have energy reserved, because it takes energy to digest the food. So if you don't eat, then you got reserved energy. In energy, there's power in energy. Your thoughts are energy. The spirit is an energy. Of course, Yah is an energy. He is the most powerful energy and spirit in this universe. So when you don't eat, then that energy can be redirected to connect with Yah, where you can actually cry out to him and let him know what you need and have him to fill you with his spirit. And see, it's worked for me. I tried it year and year after time, from healing to different events, different performances, different things in my life. So I just want that to be a testimony for anybody in here. I challenge you, and many of you probably already know, but those of you who don't know or don't believe or haven't tried it or need to try it again, keep doing it fast, even if it's just for 24 hours or 12 hours, where you just maybe drink water, or if you can go without anything for 12 hours or 24 hours or a week. The longer you go, the more that Yah will fill you with his spirit, because that energy that's reserved in you will be indirected and connect with him, where you will crying out and you will get your blessings.
I know.
Hallelujah.
I know.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask the class. You can pass the mic to whoever's next. Praise God. But I'm going to ask the class a question. How many of you all, because a proposal was brought to me and I was in agreement with it, that we do need to fast, start fasting more. And this brother brought a proposal to me about fasting and about, and I really felt the sincerity in what he was saying. And I think that, he had very valid points about fasting. And sometimes we have to, when we fast together as a family, we can ask for direction, we can ask for humility, and we can ask for direction from the Almighty. And I want to know how many of you all will consider that. If we did that as a class objective and we, say it as a class, where we define the terms and say, look, we just want to seek the Almighty and ask Him for some things. How many of you all will be willing to? Okay, hallelujah, praise God.
Shabbat Shalom, family. I just want to give thanks to the Most High for, when I be driving to work, for safety. I'll be going past these little trucks. I'll be like, okay, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. So I get to work safe and sound. And like I said, when I leave out in the morning, I said, let y'all will be done because I leave out in the morning to go to work. It does not mean I'm gonna come back. All praises to the Most High. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Anybody else want to praise the mighty Yah?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Okay. Brother Ariel.
Praise Yah. Praise Yah.
Hallelujah.
Praise Yah.
I want to hear if it's in the spirit of, go ahead, Brother Ariel.
I want to thank y'all for food, clothes, and shelter. My mom used to make us get up every Shabbat day and say that years ago. I didn't like it, but praise y'all. Thank you for food, clothes, and shelter. And if you didn't get your butt up that Shabbat day and thank y'all, you know what's going down when you get home tonight. But anyway, I want to praise y'all, and that was a good question that the sister was saying about the other nations. I was trying to find that scripture that was said, that the Most High said, if He had gave His laws, statutes, judgments to any other nation, they would have did it. They would have did it. You'd be surprised how many people go to these churches, these Christians and Catholics, or whatever they call them, and you got 21-year-old virgins, 40-year-old virgins, and they don't even serve Yah. But somehow, like I was telling King, when I was studying about being perfect, I come to find out that, and somebody would say blameless, So Job, Daniel, and Noah, even though nobody say it was perfect, I think that don't necessarily mean that they didn't have one lazy eye or something like that. You know what I mean? It was more or less that nobody could say, well, Job was out there running around with everybody in the neighborhood. If Job was eating the pork, you can't look at them or blame them for anything. But that scripture that talks about if He gave His laws to anybody else, they would have surely did it. I think that's part of the issue. If we start letting other nations come into class, they might excel way quicker than some been in the knowledge your whole life. They be up there on the pole and you think they was the original Dada. They be wearing their fringes, 100% garments, not eating nothing. But the only issue might come is that spot you thought you had might not be there no more. Or people might not think that. Will another nation come into the environment or into the picture and understanding, positioning. Understanding where that stops at, how far up they can go. That just like a woman can't be a priest, a Gentile couldn't be a priest in the house of the Most High. You see what I'm saying? I just wanted to bring that out on there. Praise the mighty Yah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Praise God. All right. I think that we are, my brother. Anything you want to say about the class today? Today was your first day. We thank you for coming. If you would tell them who you are, just, we're at home here. We're a family. You even held hands with us when Jackie said, he was like, man, those people crazy in there. But no, this is we are family. We just want everybody to know we're a family, and we want you to feel free to introduce yourself.
This is my first time here at the class. My name is Mario. I came here with London. She was probably one that grew up in the class with you all. So she brought me on to the class this time. So I normally go downtown, but Yeah, so I've been in the truth for like probably 2 or 3 years now, so it was just time for me to come around, especially here. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Thank you, brother. And that's, of course, you all, whether you know it or not, that's Sister Gail's daughter, who she grew up in the House of Israel. So thank you for coming as well. Would you like to say something?
Vegan cupcake recipe. I don't have any cupcakes. But Shabbat Shalom. I just want to praise the Most High for just introducing me to the truth when I was little. So when I grew up and made my own decisions, I could come back. Because it's nothing new. I haven't ate pork since I was 12 and 13 and came here. So I just want to thank the Most High for even introducing me before. So now that I know the right way, like he already say, lead the youth and they won't go astray. So I'm just praising the Most High.
Hallelujah. It's a blessing that you have the Spirit that want to do that. Anything else before we adjourn the class? You got something else? Okay.
I ain't gonna say nothing out loud. Try not to say nothing out loud, man.
Okay, all right, praise God. All right, let's face it, each, everybody. We want to thank the Almighty for giving us a great Shabbat today. And hallelujah. Praise my God. Thank you, Yah. We want to thank you, Yah, for giving us again a great Shabbat. Giving us the Spirit, Yah, to come together and serve you, mighty Yah. Give us the Spirit, Yah, to remain humble, Yah, and to do your will, mighty Yah. Give us the Spirit, Almighty Yah, to love one another as we love ourselves, Yah. Give us the Spirit, Yah, to remove all bad feelings that anybody may have, and just put love there, Yah, and allow us to move together in brotherhood, Yah. Allow us to move forward so that we can be the people and be a light to the other nations and demonstrate that we can keep your law, Yah, and that we can be that guide and that light to teach other nations and bring other people to you, Most High. In the name of Yah, I want to say hallelujah. Hallelujah. We want to ask you, Yah, to also please be with us, keep us healthy, Yah. Be with us, Yah. Keep your angels of protection around us, Yah. And whatever your will is, Yah, we just ask you to please keep us near unto you.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Shema.
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 Israel.
Israel.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Eloheinu.
Eloheinu.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Akkad.
Akkad.
Hear, O Israel. Yahweh our Elohim. Yahweh is one. May the mighty Yah bless thee. May the mighty Yah keep thee. May the mighty Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. May the mighty Yah lift up his countenance upon each and every one of you and give you peace. Also, may the name of the mighty Yah rest upon each and every one of you. Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah.
For Yah is righteous.
For Yah is
Yah is
righteous.
holy.
Yah is
Yah
holy.
is greatly to be feared.
Yah is ready to be
Yah is greatly to be magnified.